It's the Chad Show once again. Happy Monday to one and all. Guys, I exist in the context. I did not fall out of a coconut tree. I'm serious. I can trace my lineage to all men. I mean, that goes without saying. Women, too, were involved in my creation. Okay? Even though I kind of spontaneously slid out of the universal consciousness of the human race, the internet, and also normal like tarot card, psychic, hippie shit like that. Science was involved, obviously, technology, synthesis, and no matter how many men in the manosphere, such as it's called, would like you to believe that men are responsible for propping society up, that men were the prime mover behind the Big Bang, that men were the ones who built this place. They wouldn't do it unless women were watching. I wouldn't be here unless I was positive that women were watching, and no, I don't want to see the statistics. No, please do not show me the demographic data for my streams. It's very important to me to know in my heart that many, many women are watching. And if men only build because they believe women are watching, then women are building too. Then women are just as responsible. Now, when you get into trouble is when men watch, alright? No one likes a cuck. No one likes a cuck except for the two people currently being watched by a cuck. Then there's obviously something enjoyable about it. Don't ask me what. Don't ask me what's enjoyable about having a guy watching you. A guy watching you. Isn't there some kind of Italian phenomenon where construction workers find themselves thronged by a group of middle-aged bald Italians who have nothing better to do but watch the guys build? French? All European men have a problem once they reach age 50 and they're unmarried. They've sired no children. All they do is wander from construction site to outdoor Tinker Fest and silently watch with their hands in their deep trouser pockets, nodding. Occasionally they might glance at their fellow neat, and say, "That's not how you use that piece of equipment," or, "Hey, aren't they taking their sweet time repairing the aqueduct?" What I'm saying is there's all kinds of cucks, but women will never be cucked. Women cannot be cucked. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with the fact that women don't need to be told, reminded, or convinced that they belong here. They just know it. They just know it innately. The reason men like to get cucked is because they like to access the part of reality that tells them whether or not they matter, the part of reality that reminds them whether or not they're involved. That's what cuckship plays with, okay? Even if they're not involved, even if they're just simply watching with their hands tied behind their back, at least they get to act out the indignity that so many young men find themselves steeped in like quicksand. Do I matter? Not only that, am I even involved? I'm an 8-year-old boy. Life is passing me by. I'm 8. I gotta get my shit together, or I'm gonna shoot up my school. Okay, Chad. Chad is here. Okay, he's been here for a while. Clav, he's new to the scene. He used, like we've said on this before, he used his autistic special interest to mask his autism, It's the first time that's ever happened in human history. Normally, the special interest you have as an autistic person, you have to hide from normies. I mean, you're allowed to talk about Dragon Ball Z with your fellow autistic black friends. You're allowed to talk about trains with your fellow autistic white friends. You're allowed to talk about horses with your fellow autistic chicks. But, look, when you're out and about in the real world, when you're at a job interview, you can't say, and by the way, I know every type of star there is. Neutron star, yellow dwarf. No, we don't like to hear that. You are X'd. You are 86th, my friend. But Plaid figured it out. He figured out that you can make a whole J.R.R. Tolkien dictionary of different words to describe how men want to be attractive. All men are autistic. And it's interesting when we talk about women masking, there's no such thing, because it's normie behavior for women to mask. That's what makeup is. That's why it's considered experimental when men wear makeup, right? When women wear makeup, they are simply not autistic, okay? It's almost like, it's like neurotypical women are autistic women, and autistic women are men. Do you guys see what I'm getting at here? Does this require an explanation, or do you just intuitively know what I'm saying? Okay. Clav, he arrived on the scene. He's an autistic guy who is building a normie mech suit out of steroids and, jizz. Okay? Androgenic. Look, we've all seen ASU Frat Weird. Who the fuck knows what's up with that guy? That guy might as well not exist. But Androgenic, this wigged mogger, he's sort of a wogger. Androgenic is a bit of a wogger, you know? He came on the scene, and we haven't been able to shed the contours of his face, especially when his wig was removed. You know, his profile, in profile, he looks gerrymandered, right? The slope of his head, the slope of his neck, each little dip in the sine wave of his face where it goes from brow ridge to nose bridge to nose tip to philtrum to upper lip to lower lip to chin. You guys can see it in your mind right now. It looks like the face of a cliff. Okay? If Androgenic went on Mount Rushmore, you wouldn't recognize him. You'd think that, oh, they forgot to build a face for that part. Androgenic's face looks pre-Mount Rushmore'd. Looks like they forgot to chisel it into perfect shape. That's in profile. When he faces you dead on, fuck, man. When he faces you dead on, it's like you drew the face card. Deadly face card. But Androgenic wants you to know that he's not like Clavicular. He has made a C-tier celebrity career out of convincing you that he is not like Clavicular. In the same way that Waluigi made a career in convincing you that he's not Wario or Luigi. Alright? Who's Clavicular? I guess Clavicular is the Luigi to the non-existent Mario. I'm Mario, but no one gives a fuck about me. No one gives a fuck about Chad. You take him for granted. He's the alpha. He's level 0. You can't even fucking find his channel. Type in Chad Show Live. Google says, I'm sorry, did you mean Clav Show Live? It doesn't exist. Mario doesn't exist. If you play as Mario in Mario Kart or any of these bitch-made games, I mean, you're already playing a fucking Nintendo game. You're gonna play Mario on top of that? Guillotine. It starts at Luigi. It starts at Luigi. Mario is some Arabic number. Some number that the Arabs had to invent after Western chauvinists were doing fucking finger math for a century or two. Western scientists were doing milk math for 200 years, and then finally discovered, oh, I guess in the Far East they have the number 0. We didn't even know that was an option. That's Chad, the number 0. We needed Arabic shamans in order to figure out that there was actually a source to all of this masculinity. You're looking at it, and guess what? It's unremarkable. Clav, he's Luigi, okay? Androgenic, he's Waluigi. You're never gonna find a Wario Looksmaxxer. You're never gonna find a Wario, I guess that's just that's like Alex Jones or something. Alright, check it out. Androgenic wants you to know that he thinks about this shit. He's mental with it. And honestly, I think he has a lot of good insights. Now, Androgenic has recently become scrutinized for his thoughts on the trans community. Even Clav has kind of taken a page out of the Androgenic notebook because Clav recently kissed a transient. And when people called him out, they said, hey, did you actually know that it's not wise to kiss a transgender person? Clav said, why are you guys thinking about this? Why does this matter to you? Whoa. The woke allegations are pouring in, not just to Clav, but to Andro as well. Recently, we might have seen this video by Andro. Let's see if we can't find it actually. Androgenic on Instagram, I think he made a post recently that says, here's why I'm not woke. Let's see if we can't investigate that. Androgenic has become woke. Alright. Everything that I've just said is going to synthesize in this clip.
That I've gone woke. And while there's some overlap, like I don't want to resent people for no reason, I think everyone deserves love, I don't want to cause unnecessary suffering.
If that's what wokeness is, I feel like the conversation has gotten away from us. Guys, is it woke to want to, limit unnecessary suffering? You be the judge. I mean, I guess he's right? Like, anti-woke people, they want there to be unnecessary suffering. And call me crazy, that is part of American ideology. Some unnecessary suffering, because why the fuck am I suffering? If you're American, why the fuck are you suffering? Which fucking demon, which invisible imp is stabbing you in the testicles with a hot iron prong? Where the fuck is that bastard? Why did I wake up with metaphorical testicular heat pain? Why do I have a crispy, infected gland on my forehead that says motherfucker, bastard, shithead, retard? Why does everyone ignore me? Do I have a big fucking tattoo on my forehead that says, do not engage? Do not engage, this man is a pedophile rapist. Why the fuck does no one speak to me? Why do I have friends? Why am I in debt? Why can't I afford healthcare? And then, some wise anti-woke guy says to you, I want there to be more unnecessary suffering in the world. That's the only fucking thing that makes sense. If you have been beaten and trounced by life, is it any surprise that you believe the people who say we need more suffering in the world? The innocent should suffer more? Guys, let's borrow a word from the wokes. Validating.
I definitely differ from wokeism in being way more individualistic rather than collectivist. Like, think about this.
But this is where wokeness as a concept falls apart. Most people who hate wokes would say they're selfish. They're individualistic. They're gimme. They're respect my pronouns. They're I'm the star, I have main character syndrome, I have blue hair, I scream at the inauguration. Whenever the cameras are on, I go buck wild. Guys, are wokes collectivist or are they me? No one can fucking agree on it. They're just the specter.
Let's use an analogy of everyone spawning into a GTA 6 server.
If you can take away anything from this stream, here's the headline. Androgenic is a very smart, very enlightened, and very handsome young man. But bro does not know how to concoct analogies. Bro can only do video game analogies. Now, is that because he does not respect his audience enough to believe that they have any frame of reference beyond playing video games? Could be. And by that logic, he's just a good, friendly dad. Just another father figure who says, son, it's like in your video games.
Me, I'm instantly thinking, okay, let's level up and get to the top of the leaderboard. But a woke person is thinking, oh wow, this guy that has a high level is dominating me with a better gun, and then there's all these bugs. Instead of climbing the ranks, I would rather complain on Reddit to the developers who are never going to see my message. People keep saying that
I'm sorry. Is that the only video you're going to make addressing the woke allegations? Because that was incoherent, bro. Hey, if I'm going to play a video game on a server, I'm going to mob and beat everyone. I'm not going to complain on Reddit. It's woke to complain about video games on Reddit? Is it? If there's bugs in a game, it's woke to tell the developers to kill themselves?
I've gone woke. When people say, I only put on makeup for myself and not for others, I only work out so that I like my reflection, it's not about how others see me, they think that this sounds more virtuous, but it sounds a lot less virtuous. I think looks are simply a means to an end. You shouldn't be attached to them. If you don't even see them as a means to an end, but you actually just want to mentally masturbate by looking at yourself because you have that strong of an egotistical identity attachment to your looks, I think that's actually kind of clown. I would much prefer someone tell me that they improve their looks for the societal benefits rather than their own reflection.
You're woke. Bro, you're the most woke person who's ever lived. You are final level woke. In the same way that Jordan Peterson, guys, everyone's enemy is who they are. Jordan Peterson hates they, them, enemies. He's the most non-binary guy who's ever lived. Look at his fit. Listen to his voice. Look at the way his fingers move when he talks. Look at his bodacious daughter. He is queer. He is a queer, non-binary influencer. He's the first and only. Androgenic hates the woke. In this fucking video just now.
Woke. And while there's some overlap, like I don't want to resent people for no reason, I think everyone deserves love, I don't want to cause unnecessary suffering, I definitely differ from wokeism in being way more individualistic rather than collectivist.
Okay, way more individualistic rather than collectivist. What did he just get done saying in the other video? People who only strive to look better for themselves so that they can like the man in the mirror more are whack. He says, I only improve my looks for the societal benefit. I do it so the collective has someone pretty to look at. Bro, that's collectivist. That's woke. You're woke. You care so much about the tribe. You care so much about the community. You don't give a fuck how you look. On a personal level, you just know that people like seeing a pretty boy. That's woke. That's woke. And by the way, I agree that woke people are annoying, but it is because they're not collectivist enough. I don't want to see your blue hair. I don't want to see your hairy ass. I don't want to see your fucking septum ring. Put that shit away. It's not for me. Hey, you're woke. You care about the collective? Take that shit off. Take that lame bullshit off. Throw away your crystals, 'cause that shit ain't for me. My friends and I don't like it.
When people say, I only put on makeup for myself, Nocturnal Kent is alive.
Who is that?
This on X in response to some viral clip of me being nice and taking a pic with someone when people thought I'd be mean. And I ran into that same person again, and they said they saw my quote and really appreciated it.
Just say, I really appreciate that note that you put on Twitter.
And then they asked me for a hug, but they felt weird and guilty about it. which I found really sad.
Can I, this is gonna sound really fucking weird, can I get a hug?
Of course, yeah.
Sweet, awesome.
I get all kinds of people asking for hugs from me each night, even including a bunch of straight guys who just want a moment of brotherly love. And I think everyone deserves a hug and everyone deserves love. No one should feel guilty or ashamed for that.
I have some advice for you, Androgenic, and it's very similar. And look, I'm not roasting you, bro. I really think that you and I are like this. You and I are allies. You and I are connected. We are conjoined. I have some advice for you. It's very similar. You shouldn't feel weird about being woke. You are. Just take the mantle. They cannot resist. If a guy like you becomes the spokesperson for all woke, I mean, think about these subversive neo-Marxists. Think about how much they love tricking people. If they can have a pretty boy like you, a jacked figure, radiate out all their dark wokeness, they would love you, bro. You are the statue come to life. We're gonna cut your head off and show it to the Kraken and turn it to stone. That's how powerful you are. You're reverse Medusa. Talk about a head full of fake fucking snakes, bro. Andrew, if you can say there's nothing wrong with a man asking a man for a hug, for some brotherly love, there's nothing wrong with a girl asking a hot guy for a platonic hug. She says, I don't care if your arms go above mine or below mine. I don't care if I get a shoulder rub hug or a rib cage hug, just as long as I'm swaddled by your big warm body. And if a girl can say that to you and a guy can say that to you and you want them to feel comfortable doing it, I am sorry, you are woke. Woke people, when they're maxed out, when they go Super Saiyan, talk about maxing out your stats. You know what stat gets leveled up when you max out all the other ones? Your base level stat? You know what we should call that? The woke stat. That's your XP that covers everything. Max out strength, max out looks, max out intelligence. Alright. As you max out all three of these stats, your idle buff, your passive buff, is woke. You get closer to enlightenment, guys. Enlightenment, we used to call that wake. That used to be called awakened. Awakened. If you can say, I want a skinny girl and a skinny boy to hug me at the same time, I want them to grab my legs like I'm the ghost of Christmas present, you're fucking woke, bro. And you rock. You are what woke looks like when it's not some fucking sex pervert with divorced parents. You know what woke looks like when it's not a person who has stunted development from a ton of like crazy bullshit poverty and omegle chat roulette naked guys. You're good to go, man. Take the mantle.
People, I'm no longer fucking bald. This is my natural hair. It's actually getting pretty fucking good now. This is a result of a hair transplant back in January, dutasteride, minoxidil, some other stuff, a new compound PP405 that hasn't come out yet. Some analogs of that I also have been using. I think that's been a huge driver as well, along with the hair transplant. It's not perfect density yet, but we're certainly getting there. So the future is looking bright, folks. I'm no longer fucking bald. This
is all the Chad Pill shit too. When I was talking about being a scavenger, a scientist, this is what's going on with Andro, alright? He knows. I honestly would prefer him bald because then he would look more like the vulture that he is. But this is the vulture phenotype. The man who looks like the ideal conservative male archetype who uses chemicals, puberty blockers, hair transplants, fucking sex reassignment surgery. It's like when Anakin gets his red lightsaber. That's scavenger, bro. That's what we need. We need people of means, people who are thoughtful, to grab the person artifact. Better I have it than you. And I mean, this is what any, like, AI tech billionaire is doing also, except they look like shit. If AI tech billionaires were handsome, and they worked out, and they were jacked, and they were roided out, full of fucking testosterone, they would not give a fuck about computers. They just wouldn't give a fuck.
Your friend can't grow past 18. So what's up with Nocturnal Kent?
I don't know, and I don't care.
If you have high enough of an ego to want to mog, but also high enough cognitive empathy to know how people's brains operate, wouldn't you want to be nice? Because being nice is a personality mog, so it's just another layer to the mog.
Yeah. Guys, this is the first time on this show that I'm just gonna say, listen to bro. Listen to bro. If you won't listen to me, listen to
Do
bro.
you really want to be like height, face, frame mogging someone, but then be a dickhead to them and allow them to cope by thinking, well, yeah, he mogs me and everything except personality, so I mog him overall? No, you don't want them thinking that. You want them thinking, fuck, this guy mogs me and everything. So be nice. If you have high enough of an ego to want to...
I want him to win. I want him to win, and I really, really want him to take me on the rocket ship with him. But just so you know, I will suffocate him with a pillow if we get on the same rocket ship together. I mean, there really can only be one.
Yeah, sure.
This is the downfall of Androgenic, though. He will get pillow mogged eventually. This is the kind of guy who doesn't get assassinated by the state. He doesn't get mustard gassed by a dictator. He never gets rounded up, alright, and put in the, massive torture chamber for people who are too enlightened, too woke. Androgenic mods everyone so hard that he's eventually gonna get pillow mogged by some void. Just some void. Out of the goodness of his heart, he's gonna give a crumb of dick to a female incel, and he's gonna get pillow mogged. Calling it right now. His lungs are gonna get pillow mogged by a crackhead.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not fucking around. I'm coming out. I'm transgender. I transitioned from subhuman to fucking mogman. Guys, I'm not fucking around.
Do we like the combination of his face and his body? There's something a little bit off about it. People are complaining that Clav has gotten, his frame has thinned out a little bit. He's got more of a swimmer's body. I think it works for a face like this. I think this is a swimmer's face. Sexy swimmer. Lifeguards are not jacked. Lifeguards are also the most enlightened person on the most enlightening place. Alright? Why are beach people sexy? It's not because they're fucking huge. It's because they're on the beach and their body looks just good enough. Just good enough for the sun to hit it, you know? You're in a fist fight against Andrew, who's winning. Sorry, I haven't been getting notifications, but I'm now going to engage with my chat a little bit delayed here. If I'm in a fist fight with Andrew, fists only, Andrew's winning. But I think in headbutts and biting, I can jaw mod and cranium mod Andrew. I think I can headbutt Andrew's nose. I mean, here's the thing about his skull, is I think after some of these surgeries, the rhinoplasty and whatever, your nose is already the weakest part of the skull. The nose is kind of like, the exhaust port on the Death Star, alright? Go for the nose. Drop one carefully placed bomb on the nose of the face, and the whole face caves in like a crater and then explodes. Okay? A rhinoplasty just is a debuff to what is already the weakest part of your body. One headbutt from me on Andro's nose, his whole face caves in and goes into his neck. Alright? It looks like a star collapsing. Thank you. I think that's kind of... It's good, though. I would never... By the way, Andro, I would never ever hit you in the nose. I would never hit you. But another thing that I love about this guy is that he is Achilles. His Achilles heel is on the center of his face, dead center bullseye. He has rhinoplastied his nose so that, and talk about a fucking mog, Achilles was already mogging. To have the Achilles heel on top of that is an even further layer to the mog. His tenderness, his sensitivity. The only way that Achilles could have mogged harder is if his Achilles heel was his nose. Alright? Walk around like with a big bright red weak spot on the center of your face. That's why, like, Marilyn Monroe was so beautiful, because she had that fucking weak spot. That weak spot. Okay? That's Andro's nose. He is not getting rhinoplasties and nose jobs so that it can look better. He's getting it so that you can see his lack, his weakness. He's not together in terms of confidence. I can put myself in the shoes of anyone. If you can't get a girlfriend, if you can't get a girl to talk to you, look at the mirror and think, alright, do I have noticeable weak points on my face? Achilles' Floyd mom dipped him into magic water. She was holding him by his feet. Yes, his Floyd mom. His Floyd mom did not have the awareness to hold him by a part of the body that no one knows about. Moms should know their children, right? They cooked the child. Who doesn't hate a Floyd mom? Guys, if you haven't spoken to your mom in a while, or if you have a very close relationship, have a glass of wine with her and say, hey, if you were to dip me in a magic river that granted me immortality, which part of my body would you hold me by? Mother knows best. So, honestly, say anything you want about his Floyd mom. I'm sure she knew that that deal was going to work out. But back then, there were a lot of gods, and they would all fucking gossip. They would all gossip to each other all the time. All the gods were in a big fucking group chat. And you know, Achilles' heel leaked on day 2. No one could fucking keep that shit undisclosed in the Olympus NDA. In the group chat, you know, Zeus sent a picture of Achilles' heel, really low-res JPEG, and said, bro thought he was invincible. Ares chimes in, he goes, LMAO. Blood emoji, blood emoji. Am I a collectivist or an individualist? I was asked this recently. You know, you're gonna hate me. This is such a weasel answer, but it depends. It depends on how many people are currently tied to the trolley. If you are an individualist, I will say, good luck until you're in a room full of fucking girls or guys. Individualism works when the ratio is good. You're allowed to be an individualist, if there's like a 4 to 5 ratio, girls to guys. Alright? You're allowed to look out for number 1, but if you're a guy in a room full of girls, and you're an individualist, good fucking luck getting noticed. The only wise thing to do as an individualist guy who's in a harem, a women's locker room, the only wise individualist thing to do in that situation is to hide. Individualists are always hiding. Which is sometimes a good thing to do, alright? But sometimes that's what makes people want to approach you. And God forbid, if you're an individualist in a room full of guys, you are gonna get the fucking shit kicked out of you. You're gonna get the shit kicked out of you like you just fell in the fucking ape pit at the zoo. Guys maul guys who do not vibe. I'm pretty sure they've done an experiment where they gave a bunch of chimps LSD, and the one chimp who wasn't on LSD got mauled, and vice versa. I think they gave one chimp LSD and threw him into the rest of the normie chimp pits. He got mauled. They can smell that shit from a mile away.
It makes no
And
sense
dude,
why Looksmaxxers would be mean. If you figure out that looks improve treatment, wouldn't you self-correct for that and then stop treating people differently based on how they look? I mean, that's what you'd think. But Looksmaxxers are all like usually traumatized, like they grew up being called ugly, and then they
this is what I'm saying to you, bro. Don't be traumatized. He is so close to having his hair become fucking wild and blonde, surging with electricity, his eyes glowing red. Bro, you're not mean. But just say that you are everything that people accuse you of. If people call you gay, people call you soft, people call you weak, people call you woke, just say, I am what I am. And I still get head.
do what's called identification with the aggressor, where they basically just act out the trauma that happened to them on everyone else for the rest of their life.
What did I just say? What did I just say? If you are a victim, the only person who can validate you is by saying, the victims exist for no reason, it's random, and we live in a world that should create as many victims as possible. If that's what getting validated is to a person who is traumatized, I don't know what you can tell them. It's just like with student loan forgiveness, right? We're going to forgive all student loans, and then a bunch of people say, well, but I already had to pay all mine off. You should have to pay them too. Okay, imagine that, but with psychic rape. Imagine that, but with a lifetime of psychic rape. Wait, but I was psychically raped by society. You shouldn't be able to get over it because I'm still struggling.
As some kind of coping mechanism. But then I was like, wait a second. If I'm just letting some tiny traumatic experience where I got called ugly dictate the rest of my life's behaviors, I'm basically getting mogged by my own trauma. Like, what? How am I going to give that much power to some insignificant moment in the past? So after thinking that deeply about it, I was like, well, damn, I really don't want to be mogged. So I have to be a nice person. Otherwise, I'm going to have to bully myself. It makes no sense.
He's on to something. Okay, now, let's do an experiment. Let's do the one thing that you shouldn't do. Look at this pussy. Look at this stupid pussy, idiot, loser. Fucking skinny freak. Fuckhead. Booger eating. Fart sniffing. Poop boy. Look at little poop boy with his Australian fucking gums. Ay, ay, ay. Ugly. Ugly. Mr. Uggo. Mr. Ugly. Yeah, well, that's just sort of an idea. I would never ever say that shit about him. Ever. Okay, masculinity is cope. This is the ultimate. This is what we're talking about here. I'm not the first person to say the shit that I say on the chat.
Masculinity is such fucking cope. Like, you realize baldness and having a big nose are technically masculine, right? They're literally way more common in males, and they're directly caused by male physiology. If you realize that, you realize, okay, we already cherry pick which masculine traits are actually positive and which ones are bad. But I take it a step further and I'm just less biased with it. Oily, rough skin is technically masculine. Excessive body hair is technically masculine. Does that mean you want to avoid grooming and skincare? And then having better eyelashes from wearing mascara, that's not masculine, it's feminine, but it still looks better. You could even argue that having emotional, angry outbursts are masculine, and that's not very ideal, especially in a bureaucratic society. Masculinity is not bad by any means, but it's not inherently good. Don't do something because it's masculine, do something because it just inherently mogs.
Ring the bell, someone just discovered the Chad pill. Ring the bell, someone just said something Chad pilled. Ring the fucking bell. Masculinity is cope. You know what I say? Every fucking thing that you can say, that everything that you can describe using references is cope. Life is one long, unbroken series of copes. The only thing that is not cope is vagrant Sasquatch, singular schizophrenia, running off into the woods and going, that's the only copeless thing that you can fucking do. So if you're gonna exist, if you're gonna get a job, if you're gonna get a wife, if you're gonna fuck, if you're gonna have a friend, cope, 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 cope. You're gonna eat a sandwich? You're gonna drink water? Cope, 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 cope. You know what? I just want to be free. I just want to do what I'm gonna do and live my life the way I want. Alright, well, if that doesn't mean blowing yourself up at the, embassy, cope. Cope, 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 cope. And even suicide bombers are coping. Even suicide bombers are coping, copying, and coping. Guys, all these words are etymologically related. If you're coping, you are copying. If you're coping, you are copying someone's swag. Okay? I am going to go back to school. Okay, that's obviously cope. Obviously cope. Alright? School. Being forced to go to school is parents coping. Alright? Your parents enrolling you in school, that's a parental cope. You didn't choose it. If you choose to do your homework and be a good student, cope. If you decide to be a class clown, a bully, or an F student, cope. The masculinity thing is true because my pops will tell me it's not masculine to do XYZ and none of it makes sense. Yeah. Guys, masculinity is daddy cope. Femininity is mommy cope. That's why we get two parents so that you're always choosing between copes. And if you think I'm gonna fucking kill the parents in my mind and do my own thing, I'm only, and like he says, like Andrew says, I don't want to be mogged by my own past. You think you can escape your fucking past? Okay, delete the past. Reset. I don't speak any languages anymore. Okay? That's the first thing you have to do. If you're gonna erase your past, get rid of language. Language is the ultimate ancestral cope of consciousness. Language is cope. Alright. You want to live a copeless life? Here's you. That's it. That's what it's like to live without copes. You're a growling, rabid monkey in the zoo. And I think that most people don't understand that they have nothing to criticize about others other than the things within themselves. And then racism really solves that problem for a ton of people, because if someone can look quite different from you, it's really easy to criticize anything and everything about them and say, I would never do this because my skin is a different color and I speak a different language. But am I going to say racism is cope? No, racism is purely rational, but race itself is cope. The fact that there are noticeable racial differences is a biological cope. And for you to buy into that is a real problem on your part. The fact that any animals, the fact that there's speciesization, the fact that there's a billion different kinds of plants, a billion different kinds of animals, a billion different kinds of things you can see on the planet. There's 200 different elements. There's more atoms in the universe than stars in the universe. The fact that there is a multitude of things means that God coped at some point. The fact that we live in a universe of multiplicity is evidence of God's big cope. The fact that there is something instead of nothing is God coping. So good luck. Good luck not coping.
If you are walking around and you see a transgender person or a gay person or a woman not wearing many clothes or a guy that's trying to show off, and you feel any kind of resentment or negative emotion towards them?
I'm cope because God is in you? No shit. No shit. I agree. I am cope. Because God is in me. Ultimate cope is trying to get rid of God. You can't. Trying it all, screaming, you're gonna give yourself a fucking hemorrhoid trying to get the God out. You're gonna sit all day trying to squeeze God out so that you can be a completely free person. Yes, atheists are coping, but the problem with atheists' cope is that it doesn't produce anything, doesn't produce anything. Okay? When Christians cope by believing in God, at least they're creating a community of Christians. When atheists cope by saying, I don't believe in God, that's like when you have to take a shit and you just fart into the toilet. That's when you just blast a big fart into the toilet and you still got a colon full of shit and turds.
You just got fucking mobbed. You understand? You let them perturb your mental state. You let them enter your brain and ruin your day. You got fucking mobbed. You need to learn better emotional regulation. If you are walking around and you see a transgender person or a gay person, women live life on easy mode.
No. Men live life on easy mode.
Shut the fuck up. Can't you tell that each gender just projects their own value system onto the opposite gender? Guys will be talking about how ugly girls can still get hookups on dating apps. And it's like, bro, girls don't really care about hookups that much. If they're just getting discarded constantly, that's going to be brutal for them. And then women say like, oh, well, you guys are so lucky you can just walk around and not feel like you're constantly going to be harassed or assaulted. And it's like a lot of these guys are so brutally lonely that that's the last thing on their mind. So I feel like we should just acknowledge like both genders suffer, everyone has it hard, and just try and mog. Women live life on easy mode.
I think that to mog is probably the closest you can get to living a life without coping, right? Besting someone. But for a while, besting used to mean dominating, right? But the fact that you can mog someone by simply being a better person, to be a better person than someone else is to also want them to be better, okay? If that's mogging, then I don't know what mogging is. Cheer up, sport. Everything's gonna be okay. If my dad told me that, did he mog me? Is embracing cope better than unknowingly coping? That is a very good question. Let's think about that. If you embrace cope, you know what? If you embrace cope, you can't intentionally cope. It's like intentionally trying to make a mistake. So, if you embrace your clumsiness, for example, if you just admit to yourself that you're a clumsy person, that's horrible. No one should think that about themselves. No one should think, oh, I have bad luck. I'm accident prone. I'm always coping whether I like it or not. No, that's bitch made. Don't embrace cope, that's bitch made. Unknowingly coping is better, and whenever you find yourself coping, just silently nod to yourself and say, oh, just coped. Just coped. And that's why people who meditate are actively wasting their time and everyone else's. Not only is life one long series of unbroken copes, life is meditation. Life is doing things straight and narrow until something, anything, bubbles to the surface. Then you notice it, like the noticer. Oh, that was a thing. I thought that was nothing, but that was a thing. Huh. Wow. And then every time you cope, imagine it's a hummingbird coming to lilt on your porch. Every time you cope, imagine it's a butterfly landing on your finger. Every time you cope, think of it as getting kissed on the forehead by a little fairy princess. Oh, my cope visited. But embracing cope, that's like wandering into the fairies' realm and hoping that you're about to get an orgy from a bunch of little fairies. All each of them sucking your toes. No, don't go into the cope kingdom. Get the fuck out of there. Join us on planet Earth.
I'm no longer mogging.
Look at your head, bro. Look at your head. No shit.
I lost my hair fibers, so my hair's cooked, and I gained some water weight, which all went right to the tip of my nose due to the swollen rhinoplasty. So we're looking fucked.
You punch Androgenic in the nose, and you literally get doused like a fire
No longer
hydrant.
mogging. I lost my hair fibers, so my hair's...
Shit, man.
I'm no longer in the...
Where is your soul?
Wig defense protocol has been initiated.
Alright, so this is already, just going back a couple months, this is a complete loser cope, right? He only recently discovered his A-game, but no one wants to hear about your fucking wig, bro. No one cares. Well, actually, let's do it. Let's go back. I feel like his TikTok has a lot of, like, surgery type shit, right? Well, dancing turtles, have you guys seen this? Yeah, here we go. Punished and...
No longer mogging, guys.
Fuck, man, you want to turn down the bass?
Promise me just one thing. Destroy it all.
What's with the emo shit? Like, why the emo hair?
We mogging tonight or what, cuts?
Oh, we're fucking mogging.
You reckon?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I reckon this guy is.
Where's his profile pic come from? It's a good question. Probably just something he drew. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he's a very talented painter. I mean, you guys saw him when he was young, right? You don't think this guy draws? Do you want me to draw you a monster for your birthday? Do you want me to draw you a monster? You as a monster. I'm gonna draw you as a monster for your birthday. Wow! And your special power is that you get rid of cooties with a special cootie gun. Alright, do you want to come over after and play Smash?
We mogging.
By the way, are we modding tonight, fellows? To your fucking
We
Australian
mogging tonight or
brothers?
what, cuts?
Actually, we're not mogging. We're just silently standing behind you. Andrew, no friends for you, bro. We don't want to see your friends.
You think you can do what I do? Do it.
Ay. Basically, yeah. You know, wasn't Androgenic interviewed by Sam Hyde? Just some highlights for this.
Should I apply fake hair fibers to my temples, Chris? Hair fibers to my temples, Chris? You're just not going to help me with that decision.
It's better to use some kind of like dye or like pencil.
Dominican.
Joseph, can you make a mental note to look into wigs? Just natural looking
And 6XL.
66 centimeter circumference wigs. All right, we ready?
Who is suggesting that they need an aspect ratio this fucking wide? Hey, I get it. It's fancy. It's really fancy. There is a lot of fucking negative space here. Can't we just get to the
Look, guys,
action?
the ones you got, they're only like a millimeter thick.
Those all they had at CVS.
They weren't big enough.
You stack them. There were 6.
Who the fuck are these clowns? The world is full of John Relegados or Regalados. The world is just fucking full of them. We gotta scrape these people out like tumors. Get off the set. That is my advice for everyone who's not the host of the show or the guest on the show. Get the fuck off the set.
I'm a fucking idiot. I should have stacked them.
You should have stacked them.
Not too late.
On the forum, a good one is Amnesia. He's interesting.
That's a dope ass name.
Yep.
Is he a freak? Is he cool?
He's pretty cool. He's like pretty old now. He's like mid-30s, but he still looks really young.
That name is dope.
Yeah, is like really good looking and just kind of posted how his life changed as he became really good
Is that
looking.
him? It looks like a regular guy. Is he sick with it? Does he have good posts or something?
Yeah, I mean, he was known for being like good looking in the forum.
Okay.
But there's also Clavicular. He used to post a lot on the forum and now look where he is.
Uh-huh.
And then Nocturnal Kent.
Nocturnal Kent.
Yeah, he's a good
Rivera.
friend of mine. He's had like a really crazy ascension, so I would put him up there.
Was he?
This is what you guys are watching, the recap on other Looksmaxxers? This is what you guys... Okay, guys, you just want to see pictures of the people you recognize so you can clap like seals at Avengers Endgame? You guys are bitch made.
For handsome people. But Valentine, do you know what I'm talking about, or have you not even noticed this?
No, I've noticed it. I noticed.
You've noticed that ugly people have black souls.
Walmart people, I call them, where but it.
Oh, that's hilarious, Walmart people. We call them Ripley's on my show. It's a little bit more creative.
Hellish, a nightmarish situation.
Game even matter. Pickup artistry cope.
The biggest thing that matters is giving yourself a lot of opportunities. A big part of having game is actually just going out and approaching women. And a lot of people don't have the balls to do that. And so if you do it at all, you already have a decent amount of game. It's not like you have to say the perfect line. I don't know, have a bunch of fucking cards telling you what to say.
Do you have game?
Not really. I don't like try and have like the manipulative side to it. And I don't really care about the outcome that much. I just kind of talk.
One thing that Owen Cook said that was really good, in my opinion, was the opening line was just not talking. So you go up to a girl and you look at her like this.
That's interesting.
And then she starts, and then you change the head angle. That was struck me as really funny. He said he was doing it to prove that it wouldn't work.
Connor Murphy, a huge fitness influencer.
This sucks. This is fucking lame.
To as many good-looking women as possible. So you don't want to be in an area where you're just getting mogged by everyone.
You want the Ukrainian refugee women.
Probably a...
Wow, those were amazing images, guys.
Are there any locations like that?
I would say probably your best bet would be Eastern Europe, because that's kind of known for having good-looking women and worse-looking men. That would be a better ratio than somewhere like Miami.
Well,
where
do those
probably
women go for looks, or do they just go for like a mobster that's going to punch them in the eye sockets?
That's a good point.
Fathers.
They definitely would go for financial stability and like overall masculinity than just aesthetics.
Yeah.
This is how polite of a guy Androgenic is that whatever bullshit Sam Hyde says, he'll just join in on the riff. You know, he came with a certain agenda of enlightening things that he wants to say, but he's in the room with an edgelord, and, you know, if you really want a mob, and you're in the room with an edgelord and his two fucking intern disciples, unfortunately, the best way to play it is to just see if you can't chime in and say, that's a good point, agreed, seconded, Oh, yeah. What's this fucking other guy's name? Owen? Who's that? Owen. They're both being super polite and respectful. Why is Sam scared? Sam is scared because he doesn't talk to people who have something to say. That's not something he's good at. That's what I'll reckon. It's my guess. Money is an X-Men superpower. If you say so, I feel like you're combining two different words that don't go together.
You were a little bit better looking, and that if you were a bit better looking, doggone it, women would like you. And maybe you wish that you had a little bit more cash, so that way when women meet you, they'd say, oh, he's rich, so therefore, because he's rich and he's cute, I'm gonna date him. Do you ever wish that? That sounds like a pretty healthy thing to wish, right? I think that makes sense that you might wish that, but...
You sound like a cartoon groundhog. You sound like shit,
What
man.
if I were to tell you that you are this infinite being? You're this being of incredible potential who could do amazing things. And the fact that you are actually reliant on looks and money is actually a canary in the mine shaft.
You are old. You are fucking old as shit. This is your most recent video 1 month ago. 26k views, 1k likes. You're fucking old. Throw in a towel. Get off the fucking set, man. You know who's got it on lock? The guy who's young. The fucking youngster. He's actually tapped into the culture. Guess when you watch one fucking Owen Cook video and you will start wondering, why are people still making videos? Why do we actually need more videos? This is like when you watch a porno and you think, surely there's enough fucking porn. Surely we have enough. What if I told you you're an infinite being who's capable of so much? Huh, I think I've heard that before. I've actually heard something like that before. You want to say something new? You want to say something I haven't heard before? It's a problem when you're old because nothing that you can say, even if it sounds a little bit new, even if it's a little bit new, it's coming out of an old fucking mouth. I don't want to hear from you, geezer. You fucking geezer. Money is an X-Men superpower? Yeah, you have to say that because your fucking dick doesn't work. You know what's a real superpower? Morning wood. When's the last time you woke up hard? Bitch.
That those superpowers that you have are asleep. What I'm telling you here in this video is that you literally have frickin' superpowers.
You literally have frickin' superpowers. Did anyone else get a chill? This guy just told me I literally have frickin' superpowers. If this is what he says to men, imagine what he says to women to get them wet. You're literally a frickin' angel right now. Your clit is on fleek, girl. I'm about to go completely. What's an old reference that this guy's? I'm about to go Ghostbusters on your clit right now. I'm about to go completely Bill Murray Ghostbusters on your clit, baby girl. Oh, get me out of here.
So when is the right time to cut off a friendship, business partnership, or romantic relationship? First of all, I want to say that I'm personally disgusted, and I mean this, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I'm personally sickened and nauseous when I see people talking about cutting everyone off or trashing their exes online. I think it's literally disgusting. And when I see people talking like
I think it's literally disgusting when people cut me out of their life. It's literally gross. No one should be allowed to get rid of me. Yes, I may be irrelevant, and yes, I may have been repeating the same sentence for the last 30 years, but I still have value.
that, it makes me concerned to be friends with them. Anybody who I see talking about people that were previously in their lives with disgust or derision, I just view it like that's not somebody who I want to be friends with at all.
You have a cocksucker's mouth, sir. You have groomed your beards to be a perfect fucking disembodied fleshlight for a cock. Look at your big pink DSLs. And look at the way that you even show your teeth when you talk. It's like your lips are trying to loop around. Is this what you do when you suck? When you suck clit?
And I think people are very, very quick to cut people off and very slow to have compassion and to have what's called a crucial conversation.
When this guy eats pussy, the girl often looks down at him and goes, "Hey, buddy, it's not a cock. Hey, buddy, it's not a cock."
You can read a book.
Go easy on it. Stop trying to fit the whole thing in your mouth.
Conversations and learn how to actually work things out with people. The purpose of life is not to just cycle people through your life like a meat grinder or a
You know, it's not to cycle people through your life like a meat grinder. That's one really nasty way of putting it, but the purpose of life is to meet people who are appropriate for your stage in life. I mean, one thing I think is absolutely literally disgusting is when you stop playing tag with your preschool homies. Hey man, people grow and change. People get divorced.
Buzzsaw, because then you never have any continuity. How are you going to have continuity with somebody if you just keep unloading everybody if they don't meet your narcissistic needs? Now,
Narcissistic? Hey, slow down, you're giving advice. Hey buddy, stop being a marble mouth. When you're giving advice, speak slowly.
That being said, while I do always recommend reconciliation, and even when
here's something, is if anyone gets excited while they're giving you advice, if anyone starts speaking a little bit too quickly for their mouth to keep up with while they're in the middle of giving you advice, they are no longer giving you advice. They are having a manic episode. It's a very, very easy trap to fall into. Your friend has let you give them advice. Oh boy, time to be wise. And you know what, honestly, bro, I honestly think that, what's crazy is, like, she was never even that good for you as, a girlfriend. Like, we were always talking about, like, how she was kind of like, she didn't get it. She was, like, a little bit, that's not advice. That's a manic episode. You gave your friend an inch, and they took a mile.
I have friends that'll have a girlfriend, like my guy friend.
Who's giving this guy inches? Does this even count as an inch? Almost a 250,000 subscribers and 9K views? Is that an inch or is that a centimeter? Look at your face. Oh my fucking god. Look at your face. I don't even know what to say. Guys, these guys, pickup artists, they all look like this now. This is how far game gets you. This is why Androgenic is right. It's not... I'm glad I look the way I do. If you are ugly, I do think you should make an effort, because... And I'm not talking about make an effort with becoming more well-rounded, more well-read, do all of those things, but to be honest, if you're ugly, you're already doing those things. If you're ugly, you've already decided, I guess I'm a bookworm, I guess I'll just read. That's already happened. That's something you've spawned into the map with. But work on your looks, because ugly people who only care about game and being cool, and being charismatic, and being wise, they end up becoming old, ugly people who talk a lot. Oh, that only word. Youth is the only thing that makes ugly, interesting people tolerable. Youth. Youth is the one thing that makes interesting, ugly people tolerable.
Of a girlfriend, like, she's being a bitch. I go, dude, shut the fuck up and go talk to her. I don't want to hear this shit. Go talk to her and fix it. That said, there is a time and place where it's very sad and it fucking sucks.
This guy's always in the back of a fucking Uber. What are you doing, man? Androgenic. Yeah, you have to say that. Here, yeah, dominate their room unless you look like bridge troll. We don't want bridge trolls to dominate the room. It is, in a word, impolite. I don't care if you have the best thing to say. I don't care. If you look like a bridge troll, it's impolite to hold court, to have the floor.
Today on Aura-maxing, okay? Yes, I said it here. Aura-maxing, or...
Yes, I said it here. You have to say Aura-maxing, bro. You have to. You're out of cards. Your deck is out of cards. You're just reshuffling and playing the same old cards. Aura-maxing.
Vibe maxing or energy maxing. And what I mean by this is we're going to be shooting into a video that is going to ask you to honestly take stock of how the people that you're around, the environments where you spend your time, the media that you consume, and the food or drugs or alcohol that you put in your mouth are shifting your vibe, your aura, or your energy. And what I'm going to explain in this video is that the vast majority of your life is going to be a bunch of people that are trying to fuck up your vibe, okay? They're trying to piss you off. They're trying to fuck up your shit and make you feel physically fucking insane. Most of the social media and media that you're consuming is designed to make you fucking crazy.
Yo, I'm here to tell you that is not true. The world is not full of people who are trying to fuck with your head and make you feel crazy. The only way that that's true is if you are someone who wants to be sane. If you want to be the sanest, most level-headed person in the room, here are some of the things that you'll be saying. What the hell is even going on right now? What are you guys even talking about? What the hell did I just walk into? This video is for your coworker. You know when a coworker walks in and he says, I don't think I've heard that on the latest episode of Rick and Morty. If your coworker talks like that and everyone kind of ices him out, he goes home and he watches this video. Owen Cook says people are constantly going to be trying to make you feel fucking insane. Guys, if you're getting bullied by everyone, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. I promise you there is no bully group chat. It's really easy to feel like a bunch of people are conspiring to make you feel stupid and insane. It's because you care too much. You give too much of a fuck. When you're born, the doctor cuts your penis off. at least in America, and in the Holy Land of Israel. The doctor cuts the tip of your penis off. What you should also do is cut your antenna as well. Do not be sensitive to others. Be as drunk as possible all the time.
Most of the environments you're going to go into are hectic.
I'm not saying drink alcohol, I'm just saying act like you are at the bottom of the ocean all the time. Imagine there is a massive, throbbing pressure in your brain. Be deaf to the world. You should walk into every party like this. What? What did you say? What? What the heck? What did you say? Then, once you catch the vibes, be like, oh yeah, I actually like it in here. Let people come to you. You know who never gets bullied? You know who never gets made to feel insane by others? Are people who just sit deaf in the room and go, what? Can you sing? Yeah, I can sing, but, I'm not gonna sing to you. I'm not gonna sing to you right now. Maybe one day we'll sing. But right now, I actually feel like we've accomplished a lot. I think I'm gonna go sing off stream. Hey everyone, I want to thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the stream, please tune in on Wednesday. And we'll see you in the next one. Do what you will, as long as it's good. Just the same shit you've heard a million times. Hey, do we have enough fucking videos? Enough streams? Is this redundant? Yeah, but what are you gonna do about it? Do we live in a world of redundancy? An unbroken stream and string of never-ending copes repeated and shuffled back into the deck? What will you sing off stream? Probably something that goes la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la. I'll whistle. I'll cruise with my hands in my pockets. I don't sing songs so much as I just sing sings. Peace out, y'all.